Talking about the expat, they are not sure if they should be buying the property or they're okay in rentals. How should they sort of, look at their money that they're actually paying as rent? And how should they actually think about investing that in the property?
One of my videos on YouTube, which I put out earlier, every person should buy an investment property first and then probably buy a home for themselves. If you have some income that you can put aside, that can actually go towards an investment property. Whatever that property is generating does not run your household, then you should go ahead and take the next step, which is finance from the property. Let's say I have some income that I can put aside, which I was eventually going to put for my house. Now, in a worst case scenario, if I have a property that's ready and that's giving me rental income, and that's automatically, if I'm taking the mortgage, paying for the EMI. Whereas if I buy myself a house first using the mortgage from the bank, for example, if I were to ever lose my job, then I'm in a lot of trouble. Whereas if I have an investment property, that property can give me an additional income on the side.
That makes a lot of sense, but we're all emotional beings. At the end of the day, when a family moves here, they want to settle down and feel safe. And this is where I think I have a difference of opinion with many people. Like you've said, I think this approach is absolutely spot on. This is how it should work, but this is not how human minds think. They want to live in a property which is owned by them and they feel safe in that.
True.
How to change that mindset?
This is what I try to do. I try to educate people on how important it is to first buy an investment property. Maybe in the longer run, it will help pay for a lot of things. And in the initial stages, it might be a little difficult. You could buy something that's off plan and put a little bit of your income towards the payments of that. Let that gradually get ready. Once it's ready, you will have an evaluation of it. Hopefully, you bought it in the right place at the right time, at the right price. And once it's ready, it's going to have a slightly appreciated value, which then you can actually give to the bank. That's how I have built my corpus of properties that I have today.
Yeah.
They're not that many, but they're a fair amount. So once they're ready, you give it to the bank, you leverage from the bank basically. So what I've done is I've taken 50% leverage out on one of my first ever properties that I purchased. And you can use that additional money, put towards something else, which could be your second investment property. Again, maybe in the stage of off plan. Also, the rental income that the first property will generate can be used to pay off your estimated monthly installments, which is your EMI. This is a way that people can work towards, building different asset classes for themselves.
Absolutely. Do you want to give a specific example to our viewers in terms of the positive cash flow? Suppose someone wants to buy a property which is worth 1 million dirhams. How should person actually calculate the investment amount and the actual cash on cash return and the ROI to understand the cash flow from this property?
Every property would have its own concept, depending on the location, the product itself, and what kind of returns it can give you. But I'll give you a small example of how I started and how I did it. I bought an off-plan property on the Palm, which was a 3-bed at 1.7 million. Today it's ready and it's generating rental income of 200,000 dirhams per year. I took that property, gave it to the bank. The bank evaluated it today at 4.5.
It was 1.7 at the time.
Correct.
And
when I
paid
picked it up.
Paid the full amount, right?
Under construction,
Under
off-plan
construction, it was an off-plan property.
Correct.
Okay.
I usually am a big believer of off-plan.
Yeah.
And I focus towards that, provided finding the right kind of unit. When I picked it up, it was 1.7. Appreciated today, I want to say about a year and a half ago was when I gave it to the bank at 4.5.
So you drew equity out of this property.
Correct. I only took 50% out of it, which is 2.125 million. I took that 2.125 and I put it towards two different properties. One was an off-plan townhouse priced at 2.3 million, but I only had to pay 1.3 upfront. And the second 1 million dirham, I put it towards a ready studio apartment in downtown Business Bay. The property generates 200,000 as rental income. This is the Palm apartment. My yearly EMI to the bank, including my interest and capital, is 130,000. 20,000 on top is my service charge for the Palm Jumeirah apartment. So all in, I'm paying 150,000, netting me positive cash flow from the Palm Jumeirah apartment of 50,000.
50,000 from there, and
Correct.
then?
And now from my studio in Business Bay, I'm generating 92,000 as rent.
And what is the net return after?
After paying service charges, it is now down to 84,000.
Right. And you own it outright?
I own it 100%.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's 84,000 plus 50,000 is my current positive cash flow. But now I took a next step. I gave the studio apartment back to the bank.
You drew equity again.
And I said, bro, give me 50%.
Good.
The bank has given me 690,000 based on the evaluation of 1.15 million. Now I'm trying to find a place where to deploy it.
I created Think and Grow 10x because I believe that everyone has the potential to break through barriers and to achieve extraordinary success. If this video today brought you closer to your goals, then give it a like and share it with someone who's ready to take their journey of growth. Until next time, keep believing, keep thinking, and keep growing 10x.